Hello. Hi. Welcome back. Today I'm gonna literally be holding your hand while I say this. This video is going to reveal the urgency with which we all need to have an honest conversation with ourselves. And I mean it. Get ready for this one. So for a little context, I'm away from London. It's been a week. I'm in Brighton and it is beautiful out here. I've seen all the different seasons of typical UK weather. It's sunny outside right now. But today I'm going to be talking about something that is so important. And these are all the topics that we are going to be covering, and I will be passing myself to part 2 of this video to the Ayushi who is in London and will be recording in the future, because I cannot and I have to catch a bus in a little bit. So we'll get through this one. So lately I've been reading this book. It's called The Courage to be Disliked. I'm not gonna name the authors because I'm definitely gonna butcher the pronunciations, but regardless, you get the credit. The book is about a conversation between a philosopher and a student, and they are discussing adlerian psychology. I got my notes right here, so we're going to be looking through them. It's essentially a school of thought that suggests your present state of being, your happiness or your misery, cannot be blamed on your past, even if it stands as a foundation of your reality. It's not your lack of confidence, rather the lack of courage to change your present. It is very, what does that even mean, coded? But we'll dissect that. That's what we're here for. So I did not want to pick up a non-fiction book in the longest time, and I was told that, oh my god, this book is so good, you should read it, have my copy. There we go, we read it. And on the first few pages, just to show how I do not want to read a book that is a non-fiction, I kind of drew very dramatic notations on the margins, and I was like, nah. And because I was tired of reading non-fiction book that loop around the same 2 pillars for 27 chapters straight, and there's literally nothing you learn from them, and most of the non-fiction I've read comes from that. Not all of it, most of it. But this one is different because I was sitting by the sea and reading it, and I just wanted to throw it in the sea because it was so true. It felt like somebody had written a monologue based on my internal part. It's such an internal deep part of me that I know is there, but I just don't want to acknowledge it, and the book is based on that. But to get through what I mean here, but why I'm bringing up this book for today's topic, to learn to forgive yourself, is I'm going to be reading this passage and you'll see what I mean. So you're saying that I'm unable to change my life because I repeatedly make the decisions to not change. I do not have the courage to choose a new lifestyle. In other words, I do not have enough courage to be happy, and that's why I am unhappy. Have I got anything wrong? The youth asks. Philosopher. No, you haven't. And then the philosopher goes on to explain this by giving an example of sometimes we use our problems as an excuse to not face our fears. And I'll give you a related example. Say, for example, you want to create art, but you have a 9 to 5, and your problem is that you don't have enough time to make art, start that printing business and sell your prints and around the world, and just do that thing. And according to the book, the issue is not having enough time. The issue is that you're trying to protect yourself by saying that you don't have enough time because you have a fear of realizing that maybe you're not good enough at it. Maybe you need more practice. Maybe you could not have made great sales on something that you wanted to bet your life on. And that hits home. And I know I can relate to it on so many levels, and so many other people can relate to it. We choose to use these excuses over facing a fear of rejection, or fear of being seen, or the fear of failing at all. And just need to remember that everything you want in your life, everything you want in your new life, is on the other side of change. And change requires you to have this conversation with yourself and be honest and face your fears. Your deepest fears that you don't even want to acknowledge are there. And I'm just going to be wrapping this one up real quick because my camera battery is low and I need to leave as soon as possible. But one more thing before I go. The reason I'm stating this ideology is because you didn't even realize that you were using these excuses as nothing but as bodyguards that are protecting you from facing your own fears. And everything you want, a new life, a new change, a different aspect of your life to blossom, some new manifestations, every single thing you want, the best relationship you want, everything is on the other side of change. And change requires you to face these fears. So step 1, understand your fears. Sit with yourself and have an honest conversation with yourself. Like, what is one excuse that I keep on making? What is one thing I keep on repeating? This is the problem I'm having. This is the situation. That is why I cannot do this. A is the situation, hence B is not possible. What is that excuse? That probably is the answer to all your deepest fears. For me, it was the fear of being seen, which is very counterintuitive because all I wanted to do was be famous. I wanted to be famous. I want to be famous, but for a good cause. And my biggest fear is to be seen. Hello, hi. So we're back in London. I'm back home, and we're gonna continue this video from here. My biggest fear was to be seen. On contrary, that I wanted to be famous. I wanted people to know me, who I am, people to know what I think about and how I think about things. And I wanted to just have a good impact on a circle of our community, and I wanted to build a community around me. And if you think about it, it's so counterintuitive. And at this point, I have reached a state in my life where I'm like, if you're judging me for trying to do something, I think it says more about you than about me. And I just circle back to it every single time. I feel like maybe I should not judge, maybe I should not do this, because what if I get judged? And I get judged, and does the world end? No, it does not. Who cares? Nobody cares. And I understand the fear of rejection, the fear of failing, the fear of being seen on such a deep level. But I want you to also see the fact that you're watching me right now means that I did not listen to the fear. I think it's good to remind yourself that whoever you idolize in terms of where you want to be in life, whoever is your role model, that influencer or that lifestyle guru or that yoga practitioner, and you're like, I wish I could do those yoga poses, or I wish I could have like start a small business about like jewelries or journals or whatever it may be. I want you to see it from this perspective. Wherever they are at this point, they have stood against their fear of rejection, the fear of being seen, the fear of being judged. You would not have seen them if they were still listening to the voice in their head telling them they should not do it, or what if. There's this film called Letters to Juliet, and there's this line in that film. What and if is the most dangerous combination in the English word language. And it is so true. It is the most dangerous combination. It messes up with your head on so many levels. Stop listening to it. Stop listening. Because what if it works out? What if it is so beautiful? I think we need to give ourselves the permission to imagine the best case scenario. Why does the idea of a negative case scenario always the by default one? Fear and faith both are delusions. Step 2. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. I cannot stress this enough. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. You did not know it. You did not see it coming. You did not know the patterns that you were following subconsciously. And I think we should forgive ourselves for so many things. And forgiving yourself is probably the biggest form of closure one can get. And I think we keep forgetting that. I think we keep looking for that validation externally in the world around us, in how people treat us, in who chooses to be with us, or what opportunities we get. Our identities become our job descriptions and job titles, and how much of whatever you've done in life, how much is in your bank balance, whatever you can provide. I think we are so hard on ourselves for things that we cannot have controlled regardless. You could not have controlled that situation better than you did. You could not have handled that conflict better than you did. You could not hold on to somebody better than you did. And it is so important to understand and let go of that. And it will take time. And it takes more than time, it takes self-compassion. You're so forgiving to other people. We are so forgiving for people who do us wrong, people who walk all over us, and we give chances and chances after chances until it breaks us. But we never are accepting of our own flaws. Oh, I need to be perfectionist. Oh, I need to do it right, and I need to do it this way, that way, yada, 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 yada. Take a step back. Have that honest conversation with yourself and accept it is okay for you to not know everything. It is okay for you to mess up. We're literally on a floating rock. What are you so concerned about? There's this lady, and she is so worked up about the table napkins do not look the same. They're not the same color. And she's worked up about that because in 30 minutes the guests are arriving and the table napkins do not look the same. And I thought to myself, people like this exist? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? People are so hard on themselves until I was on a call with a friend, and he was like, why the hell are you so hard on yourself? Just go out for a walk at this point, genuinely. And I did. I went for a walk, and I was like, yep. And I do not have any compassion for myself. I genuinely did not have. It is insane. And when you think about it, we are, with all those feelings and all that pressure, we're basically just forgetting that we are becoming something. And we're so consumed in being someone that we forget the process of becoming. And you will always be becoming something. You'll never be anything. You are always becoming something, because even at the age of 75, you'll learn something about yourself. And I'm sure you will learn something about yourself. I will learn something about myself that I did not know for 75 years. Because my perspective, my vision towards life, my priorities, and my situation, everything has drastically changed from when I was 23. fall in love with the process of becoming who you are. And honestly, just forgive yourself. It is okay. Take your time. Forgive yourself. But that is the biggest step. Step 3, the courage to act. The good news is now you know. Now you know your patterns. Now you know what are the excuses you're making to protect yourself, what to do, and that is to act. You know, it is time to act. Identify who you want to be and spend the rest of your life acting and showing up like that person until it becomes you. And then change again, because that's life. Have the courage to act. Have the courage to have this conversation with yourself, this honest conversation about what excuses am I making. And then forgive yourself for not knowing better, not doing better about the things that only life could have taught you. And then act. Change the course. Give life a plot twist. I love saying that. Give life a plot twist and let it reward you. You never know, you might get something that you never ever imagined. You might get something so beautiful that it surpasses all your desires. I'm sure the universe knows how to make up for the lost time. In spirituality, they say that raise your vibration, vibrate at the frequency of your future, of the future you want, and your 3D reality will mirror that. In Stoicism or Adlerian psychology concepts, you could not have controlled anything outside your actions or your reaction anyways. So it's okay if it goes north, south, east, west. Move in the direction you want to and show up. And then you have the 50% chance of it working out, or at least knowing how to make it work, or what's the next step you can take. If you never try, you'll never know. It's a cliche, but it is true. If you like what I talk about here, please feel free to read my Substack. I post essays and sometimes short stories. And if you need help in trying to unstuck your thoughts, there is a 5-question PDF free down below. Have a read. And I hope that helps you. Until next time.